What up, what up, what up? Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Switching it up.
I see what you did there.
Oh man, happy Tuesday, everyone. What is going on? Happy New Year. What?
Technically the last day of the year.
Oh yeah, shoot. Well, we know people probably are going to listen to this on New Year's Eve. If you are listening to this on New Year's Eve,
He's like,
you're a real
nah,
one.
he really thought he had something.
I thought it was I thought we were past the hump already. Damn. It's all good though. You know, Happy New Year, everyone.
Fine.
New Year, same me.
Pretty much.
Man, it's been a good year.
Yeah, I mean, you got married to me, so that was like the best year of your life right there. So that's it.
I don't think so. I feel like 1993 was a good year.
Yeah, because I was born, so.
Dog, I'm going to throw you out the closest window, which is right next to you.
Yay!
Like, no, it's not because of you.
It's totally because of me. If I wasn't born, I wouldn't be in your life, and that would just be terrible for you. So.
You just about. So we were playing a game with some friends the other day, and they came up saying, what was like our favorite month or something like that. Everyone's like, oh man, this is our anniversary or wedding day,
like
and I'm just like,
anniversary month.
I'm just like, no, mine's
He put October.
Like, mine's just my birthday. Like, why do I care about our anniversary month? Like, no. Like, my birthday comes first. Then the anniversary comes after. If it wasn't for my birthday, you wouldn't have me.
Samesies.
I don't care, though.
But I didn't put August because, see, the anniversary, that's when the joining of us happened.
I mean, the joining of us happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that month. That was our official anniversary. See, our anniversary is the same, so. Haha.
October all the baby. And then my second choice is December. My third choice is August.
Oh, man. Rude.
Well, what is going on, everyone? Happy New Year, even though we're not all the way there. We're close. We're close to that 2020.
That's what she said.
If you're new to this podcast, what is going on? If you are returning to this podcast, what up, dog? I'm Shadell, host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Still getting used to that, Lauren.
And we're here to, I guess, jam out, celebrate the new year.
We were just talking about that, how the friends we had over, he was calling me your wife, and I'm like, I'm still getting used to that. It's been 2 weeks now, but it's still weird.
Yeah.
It does, because I feel like, because the wedding happens, but it feels surreal, so it doesn't feel like it really happened. And so then you're like in this weird phase where all of a sudden, like, you just switch to being called that. I feel like it's even weirder than when we switched to fiance. Like, I don't know. I'm just.
Well, because everyone's saying it. No one's saying fiance. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, in my world, fiance,
no
we say it a lot. But yeah, so, like, it's really weird. I'm still getting used to the whole, like, me being called wife and me calling you husband when I'm talking about you to other people. Like, in my mind, it's weird. It's so fresh that it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird when I had to like make a call to some contractor. I was like, oh yeah, let me talk to my wife real quick.
I know, right?
I feel old. That's what it feels like. I feel old, and I'm not even old. I'm still young, but just feeling like you're married, you just feel like, oh, I'm like, damn.
How you doing, Grandpa? Hey.
I woke up, my back was hurting. I'm like, shoot, this is what a marriage feels like.
No, and I feel like it's easier for other people, like even our friends, to like say that and stuff, you know, because they're like, oh, it just is now. But like,
life.
Right. But like, I feel like, I don't know, it's weird because I feel like it was easier for me to say it about my friends too. But for me to say it about myself is like different. Like, I like it, but it's weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And good job. He banging the mic over here.
No one heard that.
I heard it. Everybody heard it. But yeah, so.
We're going to get into that later, though. I want to talk about marriage myths.
Oh.
We'll talk about that a little later on in the episode, because I have some thoughts, like, in this whole year, and more so the last couple months leading up to the wedding. Like, I got a lot of, like, guys, more so men, like, their, like, whole, like, opinions and views on marriage and stuff like that. And it's interesting. And so I want to talk about this article also. We'll talk about later when we go over it, and just go over, like, the top 10 common marriage myths.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's a guy thing. A lot of the guys are always like teasing and joking and harassing the guy about it.
I don't know. Some of them are probably serious.
Well,
And some women say it too. Like, there's been some women I bump into that like say like, the woman's always right and all that stuff.
the what?
The woman's always right and all that stuff.
Oh,
Like, so it's not just guys. It's just whoever you bump into and you say, "Oh my God, this is happening," and they're like, "Oh man, this and that." Yeah, we'll get into it.
okay. We'll get into it.
But first, to start this almost New Year, depending on what time you're listening to this on, I want to talk about Lizzo.
Okay.
Now, I want to talk about Lizzo for 2 different reasons.
Could have had a bad bitch.
I have one.
Ayy.
Okay. Weirdo. So I want to talk about Lizzo for like a few different reasons. One, because of Dr. Boyce Watkins talked about her. But here's a recent thought I've had, and I shared it with you like a week or 2 ago. I do feel like after that whole Lakers game thing, because I had my doubts at the time with Lizzo. She's cool. I have no hate, no issue. But Lizzo gives you the vibe. Like, I'm all down for like women empowerment and you doing your own thing and like hustling, doing yours, like just being proud of yourself. Mm-hmm. But I get the sense from Lizzo that there's like insecurity there. Like, when you have a friend where it's like you could tell the difference between them being confident and them being insecure. At least I could tell. And at first I'm like, okay, she's confident. You gotta fake it till
you make it sometimes.
I mean, she already made it in a sense.
No, I mean confidence-wise. Sometimes you have to kind of like pretend you're exuding that, and then eventually it'll like rub off on you.
I don't know
that kind of thing.
One. You have to love yourself to have confidence. I feel like
it's a mix. It's a mix.
I agree, disagree.
It's hard, especially though if you're not used to being outwardly confident, and then you want to be. So like, yeah, you kind of have to teach yourself.
Well, yeah, you have to have love for yourself. What?
No, that's the clothes or something. We're like going crazy loud in the washer.
But I just feel like she's super insecure, and like the Lakers game kind of proved it, where she made like a video of her saying like, "Man, you wouldn't have known if like the cheerleaders didn't like ask her to get up and dance or something like that." But I'm like, I don't know. And I know I believe we talked about the Lakers game thing. Maybe I'm not sure if we did. But, like, it just seems like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? So, I say this to say, which is what you're going to lead into.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about the same thing for once. We're like, oh, yeah, we want to talk about this. Which is is it Boyce Watkins? He went at Lizzo in a tweet. And Lizzo responded, and he also made a video, which I'll get into in a moment. But Dr. Boyce Watkins said, Lizzo is popular because there is an obesity epidemic in America. Rather than encouraging people to do better, we are simply lying to them and telling them that they are just fine with the way that they are. Unfortunately, many of these people are dying from diabetes and heart disease. And what do you have to say to that?
So someone subtweeted it or quote tweeted it, whatever, and said, "Fascinating how I never see these tweets. Fascinating how I never see tweets like these about DJ Khaled."
Now I'm gonna just kill that right now.
Yeah, but no, you're not, because people even said, "Oh, Twitter has been roasting DJ Khaled for years." And then someone said, the most I've seen DJ Khaled being roasted for on Twitter is either him screaming his name on tracks or not eating out his wife. People don't hype up beauty standards for men the same way they do women.
See, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. The DJ Khaled one, I get, sure. But another person that's a bigger person is Rick Ross. And people have been killing him, I would like to say, in the same way that they kill Lizzo when it comes to low weight stuff. Because, like, he's constantly, well, I want to say currently because I don't really remember it. But in the past, he was always taking his shirt off, and we're like, we don't want to see that.
But why?
Why do I want to see Rick Ross's shirt off?
Why not?
Okay, because
you're feeding right into it.
I'm gonna answer that because society has taught me that if you are a bigger person, I do not want to see that. That's why.
You could teach yourself otherwise.
Obviously. But I'm saying you're going on another tangent. But I'm saying, yeah, we don't say it about DJ Khaled, but DJ Khaled doesn't really put itself out there in that way compared to Rick Ross does.
But all it was an example is because what he's basically saying, he's not just talking about the fact that she undresses and that she's bigger. He's talking about she's bigger in general and we're idolizing her for it. So what I'm saying is DJ Khaled and whoever else doesn't have to get shirtless for it to be the same way, that they're a big icon and that they're this person that people like enjoy and look up to and like and all this stuff. That's all he's saying. He's saying many of these people are dying from diabetes and heart disease. So he's talking about heavier people in general, but then he's aiming it towards a woman. That's the thing.
Get it. I get there's a stigma with women, but understand it. No, I'm sure I can't show you right now, but I'm sure there's people that are bigger that rock Rick Ross because he's bigger and he takes his shirt off because he's confident in himself, and they rock with that. They want to be rappers. They look at Rick Ross as an idol,
right?
So
why aren't people doing that?
That's what he's saying. People are doing that for Lizzo.
Yeah, for
but
her.
They shouldn't be doing it. What are we not getting?
I'm saying, why are they not coming for these men that are overweight the same way they're doing it with Lizzo?
What are you talking about? That's why Rick Ross started working out more, because he had he had at least 1 or 2 seizures where he could have died.
Okay, great. Health reasons. I understand if you want to actually put your health into check. But I'm saying, if these people are confident at the size they are and all that stuff, we're only tearing down the women that are confident in that size.
How are we tearing them down?
By exactly what this person just posted. He's pointing out the woman that is overweight, not the men. He's taking a general stance and pointing it towards just Lizzo, even though he should be just like, if you're gonna say something, then bring it up to multiple people, not just her.
It depends on how,
like, you're just doing it towards her because she's trendy.
It's how you're viewed and like what you kind of push. And I feel like Lizzo pushes the like, oh, you could be happy with your, like, your weight, happy with all that stuff.
Why is that a problem?
Stop for a moment. Rick Ross isn't pushing self-love. So that's the difference. If you see him that pushes self-love, yeah, we got a problem. You can kill DJ.
He is by being shirtless.
You could, but he's not saying it.
Nah,
he's not saying it,
if he's comfortable being shirtless and he's over here confident in his own right and whatever he's doing, it's the same way. You know, communication's not just but with words.
Yes. It is with words.
It's not just. I said it's not just with words.
Like, for example, DJ Khaled, he hasn't. I don't think he's lost weight, but like he used to do the whole videos for he's like on the treadmill working out or something like that, and it's like, okay, here goes someone where they're not happy with where they're at, but it looks like it from the, social media eye. He's trying to take better care of himself. So I don't know. I feel like it's different. Rick Ross and DJ Khaled and like those people that are bigger, they're different because they don't push it as much as Lizzo is pushing it, as far as like being happy with your body image.
Because this is needed for women. She needs to be doing this. It is that, just like I said with that tweet, it is the beauty standards are not the same. I understand that men who are overweight may still be self-conscious, but overall in the media, they are more accepted for being overweight. So this is necessary for the everyday woman who is overweight to feel better about herself and start to love where she is right now. Because the thing is, too, people are trying to say that she's making it seem like, being severely overweight and sick and all this stuff is a great thing. No, it's about, here's the thing. You could want to get healthier and lose weight or, just make your heart stronger or whatever your goal is. Mm-hmm. But depending on how heavy you are, that might take a year, 2 years. It can take a while. And the idea is that you have to love yourself every step of the way. That's the goal, is that people love themselves no matter where they're fluctuating with their weight. Like, I fluctuate my weight all the time and I struggle with it. Okay? But like, it's the goal is that you're going to learn to accept yourself and love yourself in today, because no one knows if they're going to die 2 weeks from now or whatever it is. So on your journey to whatever you want to be, it's about accepting yourself now. And so that's what she's doing, is being like, I'm going to use my voice to say that, yeah, I'm a big girl and it's fine. Sure, like, we can all sit here all day and type and tweet, oh, this isn't as healthy and her heart's strained and she's going to get this and this is... First of all, we are not these people's doctors. We are not these people's nutritionists, whatever they have. They can deal with that stuff behind closed doors. We are not here to diagnose them, okay? Secondly, like I said, I think it's more so just... like, love yourself now, because now is what you got. Your body is what you got. And so that's where I'm going with that. And it's especially important for women, because also, like, we can expand it and we can talk about how I'm a person, my weight's always fluctuating, like I said. And it's like, yeah, I think about a few years from now, if I want to get pregnant, and I think about how difficult that's going to be for me. Because then after having the baby, yeah, I could be proud of myself that I made a baby and that, I did all that. But then I could feel like shit that I gained 50 pounds or something in the process too. And like, it's the whole idea of, yeah, I'm heavier now, but what? That makes me less of a woman? Like, women struggle with this so much. And yeah, a lot of it's society, but so I'm like, why is it a problem that all of a sudden a bigger girl's coming out and has positive things to say?
Good job. So
he's like, I'm going to be careful because my woman just preached here.
So
and it's about a woman, so.
There's a lot of things happening with this.
Yeah.
Number one, I get it. From the woman's standpoint of constantly looking on Instagram, looking at commercials, looking at Victoria's Secrets, looking at all that stuff, you're like, damn, it's always pushed at you to be thinner, look like this, look like that, have this certain body figure.
Yeah.
All that. I get that. Not knocking it. I don't really understand people coming with the attack and like, yeah, Rick Ross and DJ Khaled wouldn't get this, and I get it. It's accepted with guys to be bigger, and like, I get it. Totally understand that point. I feel like it's different when you put yourself out there, and you're like, you can feel good in this where you're currently at. I totally agree with it. I don't really agree how people like Dr. Boyce Watkins is coming at her for. It just needs to be set where it's like, be comfortable where you are and just work on. I don't know the whole Lizzo's message to like really go with this, but like, I guess that's kind of the worry from like my understanding from this tweet, where it's like, this person doesn't have all the information. Where I feel like, okay, if we had Lizzo in the room, I'm assuming she's like, be happy where you are. I don't want you to want anyone that follows me or whoever that looks up to me to like get into a bad situation by them being like, oh, Lizzo said I can, eat all this junk food and be happy with my current weight, and as long as I feel good, it doesn't matter what everyone thinks, which is fine. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily how everyone thinks of you. It's like what's your overall health is just the major part of it.
Right, but so again, I think that's something that is more private. It doesn't have to be publicized, and also
I'm not saying it.
Also, like, the thing with that is that's the thing that everybody instantly goes towards, is if there's anybody that's overweight for 1 second enjoying being themselves, then everybody, all the critics and everyone like starts coming at them and is like, you're gonna die of a heart attack at 30, you're gonna do blah blah blah. Like, they attack the person just for being okay with being them. And even you say, like, the whole thing is you have to have a plan. You're basically saying you have to have a plan to lose weight.
Nope. Not saying that at all. It's not about losing weight. It's like how to make sure you're healthy. That could be you going and working out for like 30 minutes a day, or going to the track. Just making sure you're not just sitting at home, just eating food and just chilling and just going about life. Like, I don't really care about my health as long as I feel good.
Right, but the thing
like,
is, I don't think she's portraying that.
I'm not saying she is.
She's here portraying and like literally saying, just do nothing and just, that's it. Like it's again, I think it's centered on just self-love, period, no matter who you are. She's not even saying just overweight people.
Like, for example,
there can be underweight people who are upset with themselves. Like there's different. I think she's just trying to be a positive voice, period.
Well, obviously, yeah. And people take it to the extreme. That's pretty much what Dr. Boyce Watkins is.
Right.
He's the extreme of
it's
that.
like, we are not here to diagnose you. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Okay? Because also, it's ridiculous. Someone who's 100 pounds could get diabetes. There's a lot of things that play into that, because you could have a really fast metabolism and not gain weight, but you could be eating sugar all day, every day. Like, there are different things.
I look at less of it. It's not about even the weight thing, because it's like,
exactly.
You just feel. Well, I say this because it's in general. Like, I'm not mainly focusing about the weight. I'm looking at it like Lil Wayne has had seizures before, and he's not a big person. Like,
stress is a big contributor to health problems.
Drugs are a big contributor.
No, but I know, but I'm saying even for like average people, like that's a big contributor to health problems. And you could be tip top going to the gym and eating right and stuff, but if you have like a crazy stressful lifestyle, that can do a lot to you too. Yeah. Not sleeping right, or just there's a lot of factors. There's like 7 something like different steps or whatever they say, like to kind of have a well-balanced life. And chances are nobody is acing all of them. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to try your best in the areas.
Yeah, it's a tough situation to be in. I'll say when you're a person, like when you're a celebrity, you're looked at to be like the perfect like icon for like the younger people or whoever's following you, which is tough. And it's like, it's kind of weird because you started off just being your own like role model, or your, maybe if you had siblings or whatever, you're like their role model, and now it's like you have to be a role model for like millions of people,
which is also not fair, because I thought this when I was young too. It's like, it's not really fair to do that, because at the end of the day, no, like the kids they still need parents or teachers or like positive influencers that are actually in their life too. Not just like, nobody could put all the pressure on a celebrity to be like the sole teacher and influencer and all that of a child. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So like, and again, they're human. Things happen. So it's like, we look at people like Miley and Britney and like all these people who have like breakdowns in the public eye. Do you blame them after all the things they went through and all the stress and all the growing up in front of like a camera and like and sacrificing childhoods or like whatever it is? Can you really blame these people? Because then you look at your own life, you look at your personal life, and you think to yourself and you're like, I'm really glad that breakdown I just had was not in the public eye like it probably would be for a celebrity. Mm-hmm. Someone, or even like a breakdown that you have behind closed doors. One of your friends could expose you because they got paid a lot from a magazine or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you think about it, you can't really blame these people. So then, they're attacked for not being a decent role model because, God forbid, they imploded because their life got too much for them. It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, and it's like, I dig, instead of focusing on someone's weight and everything and like all that, I think like Charlemagne, where he's like focusing on like just your overall health. Like, there needs to be a focus on like your physical and mental health and just like making sure you're good. And like I think the message of like, you could be a bigger person, that's fine. I just want to make sure that you're like, it's just taking care of yourself. Like, for example, okay, if you don't want to work out, that's cool, but like, let's like, I feel like there's so many things you could change, and like, it's kind of crazy. Like, we're in America, we know our life, like our portions for food are like bigger than how other countries
it's
have
really
it.
Weird. I've never been to other countries to see like what normal portions are, but I wouldn't even realize. I think
it's like, maybe we should cut back on that, or like, in America we're real big on sodas, and it's like, that's horrible. And like, I'll have a soda probably like once or twice a year.
I never do because I hate the stuff. Whoop,
Like,
whoop. Everybody has always told me my whole life when I was a kid and I'd say I'd hate it. Everybody's always like, you're better off.
Well,
and like, I get it. I always understood it because, yeah, it makes sense because it's extra calories, extra sugar, extra just like stuff that I don't need to be adding. But, I never got the fascination with soda, like the taste, the bubbles. Soda, coffee, not my thing. So
it's also like
I'm just fine with that.
I remember when you were getting ready for everyone to come over the house to get made up for the wedding. My mom was like, "Oh, you don't have goddamn, you don't have coffee," and I'm like, "No."
Neither of us drink it.
Like, and it's like I look at so many of
I thought
my
about
coworkers
that, yeah.
and everyone. I'm like, why are we all addicted to coffee?
No, I thought about that too, and I was like, oh crap! Like leading up to it, I don't have like a coffee machine or anything, but I feel like most of the people would have been fine with it anyway, because one, they know us that we don't drink it, and two, I feel like most of the people that came up, they don't really rely on coffee like that anyway. I don't know. Your mom like?
I mean, yeah,
loves coffee.
Getting up that early.
Well.
But I'm like,
yeah.
I never understood coffee.
But
never
it's one
liked
of those.
it.
What am I gonna do? Get a coffee machine for one day?
You just go to Dunkin' and get like a coffee, like those little, those things.
Oh, the box of Joe. I didn't even think of that. Well, everyone survived. We were fine.
But I'm just saying, like, certain things like that where it's like, okay, if you don't want to go to the gym, I'm not saying for you to go, spend 30 minutes, an hour to go work out and make sure your heart is healthy. But like, okay, let's cut back on like the coffee or the soda or figure out a different diet to like switch if you do like suffer from like having diabetes or like something like that.
There was one switch I made when I was younger that really helped me, and now as I'm growing up, I'm realizing too that it is real that even 10 years ago my metabolism and everything was even faster back then, so maybe it was just easier then. But I used to have like I would love having like multiple snacks at night. And there were different changes I made. So like one time for a while, instead of having like 3 snacks at nighttime after dinner, like when you're really not supposed to be eating much at all and like it's adding to you and all that, I went from like 3 to 1, and that like made a big difference. Or like
3, like would it just be like a couple things, or would you have like packages of like?
Not like you, no, but like say like I would get the bag of like Smart Food popcorn and I would just eat it until I was good, or I would get like.
And then you switch it up. That is wild.
Yeah,
you were living a dream as a kid.
So like there was that, or like desserts after dinner. Like instead of having like a bigger portion, I would do it to like a smaller portion. Like there were different things that I kind of just slightly switched up, that when I have the discipline, I definitely see a difference even in like the weight or how I feel or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a thing to get used to. There was one time I went from having no snacks at night. So I would finish dinner, have a dessert, and I'd be done. And for a while, that was really hard to get used to because my stomach automatically would get hungry because I was used to it. Mm-hmm. So then, like, I would be going to bed feeling hungry and like it was like not the funnest. But eventually, your body kind of gets used to it.
Yeah.
And so, like, these are kind of things that helped me, at least, like little things that might help other people. But yeah, no, I heard that. And they're always switching it up. That's the thing. Everyone says something different. But recently I heard that you should be exercising 2.5 hours a week is a good amount of time. So if you think about that, that's not too bad. Because you and I, say like we do, if you do 45 minutes a day 3 times a week, that's, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So you're basically there. So like, and honestly... I think when it comes to heart health and stuff like that, because yeah, like weight training's fun, woo, like if you like it, it's good. But I think when it comes to heart health, really you just need to be like on the treadmill. Like really you just need to be like walking, I feel like, and just trying to like pump stuff. I feel like that's kind of the key thing, and so I feel like that could be
you're
a good
specifying
start.
it. I'm just saying go to the gym. You're giving them,
but I'm
like,
trying
2
to make
hours.
it.
I'm just saying 30 minutes.
I'm trying to make it simple.
Do with your Apple Watch says 30 minutes.
I'm trying to make it simple and attainable because, like, I think that people
But
get
it's like, you don't
people
have
get
to-
intimidated by the gym too, and like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. No, like, literally, just like start like with a treadmill and do your thing. Like, put on
Or
a
even
podcast
if
or
you-
a music or a video or whatever.
One thing I did growing up as a kid, because I was a kid, I didn't have like a gym membership or anything. I would like run around my house like 20, 30 times. That's like so good.
I used to go up and down the stairs. I used to run up and down the stairs because
How many times do you do that?
a bunch.
That's crazy.
Stair workouts are real.
My kid did that, but like, kid, you need to go somewhere else with that BS. Like,
No, but-
you should just run up and down your driveway since it's like a little hill.
True, but stair workouts are good because they really do get your heart going because
Sometimes
of
they
the
don't.
climbing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, there's
But like, there's so many different things. It's like, one thing I realized with the gym, I forgot where I heard it from, but you sit back and think, and the gym is filled with insecure people just trying to do better for themselves.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I used to still do. I still go to the gym, and I'm like, I feel like everyone's watching me, but no one's watching you. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's really focused on themselves and like
No one
doing
gives
their
a crap.
workout. And like occasionally, like you may see like someone that's bigger. At least at the gym we go to, we see someone that's bigger, and like in my head, I'm like, man, keep up, like you're killing it.
yeah.
I always hate when I don't see like these people for like a while. Maybe they go at a different time or something. I'm like, damn, like this, I don't see this guy anymore, and he was
Right.
like killing it. Like there's a guy like that's come to my mind that like was always on the treadmill. And I feel like he was always like either next to you or like in that same row. He was like a bigger guy, and I'm like, man, like I was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was sweating and everything. Just like I don't know. That's what I get when I see that. But yeah, I'm just pushing for that.
That's the thing
That's
too. It
stuff.
gets easier as you like, and I'm not trying to make this a PSA to lose weight, but I'm saying like it gets easier as you lose weight too because your endurance picks up and you sweat less, or you at least have to do more intense stuff to sweat is what I find.
Yeah.
Because when you're heavier, it's like you easily sweat more, and like that was something when I was at my lowest weight. I was surprised. I was freezing all the time, like crazy freezing all the time because, and I think I had lost 20, 30 pounds. So I didn't lose like a massive, massive amount. But even that made me like so much colder now because I didn't have, I guess, the insulation or whatever you would call it. And it's crazy. Like just, I don't know. But
Yeah.
But anyways, like I was saying, ladies and fellas, whoever you are out there, love yourself for who you are right now. Go do you. Do, sure, like everyone, we want everyone to be healthy and happy. So, do something that will do that for you physically, mentally, whatever it is. But, like you're not worth less, 2 words, because you're heavier, and you're not a problem because you're heavier. You're not, you're still the amazing person you are. Like, I know amazing people that are heavier. It's fine. Like, it's really, like, literally, so, like, honestly, I feel like, because when I think of, like, everyone, too, who, like, came to the wedding and stuff, like, I feel like a lot of the people I know are heavier. There's a bunch of people I know.
Older.
Yeah, but even still, I think they've been that way for a while. And
Yeah,
like,
but
I just feel like, and they're amazing people, and I love them.
I'm not saying they're not, but
so like, I just feel like it's dumb to think you're a terrible person.
I like to be different, and we were just talking about this earlier, and I'm like, as we're planning and saving up and trying to get ready for a future house purchase that's gonna come years down the road, like, I get it. Like, kids happen, life happens, but at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't ever want to lose the aspect of myself for just trying to stay healthy by either going to the gym or creating my own place to work out.
Yeah.
And I say this because as a kid, my mom used to take me and like my siblings out, and like we used to like literally walk around the block like 1 or 2 times with her, and this happened, throughout me being a kid.
Yeah.
So like that kind of has like pushed it to me to like always go out and be
makes
healthy and
sense.
just like and plus having a kid, like, I never want to be the parent that, like, yo, my kid's running away, I can't keep up with them. Like, I'm not trying to be like that out of shape parent and that can't like keep up with their
Right.
little boy or girl or whatever. Especially if you go into a store and your kid's sitting in your left and them trying to run and
Oh,
like,
God.
nah, well, I'm not playing that game with you.
Oh no.
But like, just I'm just
or hiding in the clothing racks.
at the end of the day, I'm just trying to push being healthy, and I'd like the people around me to be healthy. Because you want everyone around you to be alive for as long as possible for them.
And I get that too.
Like, it's just, I get being comfortable with yourself, but it's like there's a balance, I'll say.
Well, yeah, no, totally. But also, yeah, at the end of the day, like, let's stop shaming women because they're heavier. That's it. Like,
man, I don't shame.
I'm saying the whole thing we started this with, like the article or the tweet
that's why,
or whatever.
like, Instagram, like, it thrives off
social
like that.
media is dumb.
And I like how, you know, in this day and age, you could find like a community that like it has similar values to you.
Yeah.
So you could find a group of people that are trying to lose weight or just find confidence in themselves at the current weight they're at or whatever, and it's just like you find a clique and you rock with them.
Well, and it's just like, you know, so for example, I love like for now there's a lot of like yoga pants ads and like that kind of thing that have been more inclusive, and it has like heavier people, really skinny people, people with disabilities. Like there's all like sorts of people featured in these ads now, which I think is amazing. And then of course people go off and they're all like, well, it doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. But then if you think about this for a minute, it kind of does make sense, because why wouldn't you market workout clothes to heavier people if you're trying to get them to work out? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense that workout clothes would only be for smaller people. So yeah, there should have always been workout clothes. And you know,
I can understand it.
Is not this frumpy stuff. That's the thing, is now we're in a day and age where anybody could get the cute looking ones, the pretty colors and patterns and like things like that. You know, because that's the thing too, is I think all too often that when you're heavier, sometimes you're restricted and you feel like you don't have as many options. And that's also what can feed into not feeling as pretty, is like, well, why do I have to have just, you know, the same two colors or the same style of shirt? And like, you know, like I know at least in the women's industry that happens a lot. And that could also play into the whole self-esteem thing.
I get it. I get why a company wouldn't necessarily market to like bigger people, because it's like, it's a gamble. Yeah, would it? I feel like it's a gamble. Cause like,
I don't. I think that in this day and age, they're getting smart and they see that being inclusive is where it's at.
Okay. I'm not. We're gonna agree to disagree. I'm just saying it's a gamble for me to waste all this money putting together clothes and items for it not to not be accepted in a certain market, because people are working out because they're happy with where they are.
Yeah, but also let's talk about this. That, come on, us as women, we know yoga pants most of the time are not for working out anyway. We just want to be comfy. So let's be real. They're getting sold anyway.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
If you're all good with that, we're gonna head on to these marriage myths.
Sure.
Man, guys. So, I want to talk about this. So, leading up to the wedding, you know, guys come up to me. Even like at work, we had like a little, like, they do this for everyone whenever everyone has like some life event, like having kids or marriage or something, with like they got a cake and like, you know, everyone comes in and like says congrats and shakes your hand and all this, you know.
That's so cute.
All that stuff. So they did that for me this past.
I don't have that because, you know, I don't have a 9-to-5.
This month.
I was just like, woo, congrats, self.
And you hear a mix of like comments from everyone, and like some guys you hear like, oh man, like you know, if you need an out, just call me or something. If you need like this and like, some people have like negative, and like some guy was like, don't lose your independence, and like a girl was like, you know, happy wife, happy life, you know, the classic saying. Another guy, I remember going to like a Christmas party that we went to a few weeks ago, and a guy was like, oh man, she let you out the house and you just got married. I'm like,
oh my god,
like just different things like that. And it's like, I'm not sure. Again, I don't know other women that do this, so I'm not sure if this is just a common thing where it's like, damn, I shouldn't say majority. Some women like lock down the person they're with and like they play no games. And another comment someone made, for example, you were sleeping. No, I was sleeping. We didn't decide to get a hotel room, so I slept in the couch and you slept on the bed like the day before the wedding.
Yeah, so we didn't see each other.
And then someone was saying like, "Oh, you're getting ready to like getting used to sleeping on the couch or whatever."
Yeah, it's like a sarcastic comment.
And I'm
like, "Oh yeah," because apparently that's what should happen in a marriage.
I'm like,
And it's just, I feel like, I don't know if it's the fact that, like, because you're saying, like, some women do this, whatever. Maybe, but I feel like it's also that these are kind of the older stereotypes, too. I think that things start to shift, obviously, as generations go by. And I think just some things people just keep saying. Because, like, for example, the whole, like, oh, she let you out the house and you just got married. Okay. Back in the day, people would date for 2 months and get married and not live together first and all that stuff. We got married on our 5th anniversary. We've lived together 3 years. Like, we're just living. You know what I mean? Like, and after the wedding, we didn't go on the honeymoon, like, right after. So it was back to normal life. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we had a couple days off to, like, chill because we were tired. But, like, other than that, it was just... You're just living again, like working and then going out, and you're going to do what you're going to do beforehand. Like, it's going to be the same. So I think that's so dumb. Like, you're still you guys. So if I was letting you out before, what's going to change?
Yeah.
And what's with this letting? Like, hello. We're still our own people.
I feel like even my friend, like, one of my friends made this joke, like, jokingly, of course, it wasn't serious, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, things aren't gonna, like, it's still the same, like, nothing is different, like, it's just a different title, like, I can still hang out, whatever, if I feel like hanging out, because normally, 10 times out of 10, it's me making the choice of being like, nah, I don't want to go out, because I'm a homebody, I'm just chill.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, too, is you'll say that, but then, like, it's almost like they don't believe you, and they think it was me or something, and I'm like, no, seriously, like, he just doesn't want to move.
I get it, because back then it was like, I'm not sure for you, but for guys, and like for me and my friends, like, it was always like, oh, we can go out, do things, whatever, because like at the time, cool. But like now it's kind of like, I don't really feel like up to doing. Yeah. Like, I don't really feel like doing that because at the same, I don't feel like spending money, one, because I'm trying to, set up for future goals. I'm trying to invest. I'm trying to do a lot of other things with that money that I'm spending on a meal that I really don't need to have. Mm-hmm. And then two, it's just like, dog, you just grow older, and it's just like, I like things to be a certain way. When it gets late now, I just want to be home. Like, things change in my life.
Oh my God, it's funny because I have never been that person who ever wanted to, like, go out late on Friday nights, or like, I've never been to a club. Like, I've never done that, and it just, that was never my scene. And so it's funny because as I get older, I'm still just like, yeah, no, like, I just want to be a hermit crab. Like, that's why, like, we had our friends over and we play games all night and stuff like that. I'm cool with that. We're all comfy. We're not trying to impress anybody. We're not spending useless money. We're hanging. We're having a great time. We're being ourselves. Like, that shit is where it's at for me. Like, every once in a while, like, sure, like, we'll go out. We'll, go to a restaurant, the 4 of us, 6 of us, however many people there are. Like, and that's fun too, but I love when it's like you're at the stage where now we're adults and we have our own places and stuff, and we could just, like, chill and, like, vibe, and it's good,
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally cool with that. I don't need all the extras of, like, going out and drinking and partying and whatever else.
Yeah. Here's another one. Here's another myth that comes to my mind. I'm not sure if it was said at the wedding, maybe not. Maybe I think it was said at my coworker party. Maybe it was my aunt that said it. I don't know. I heard this. I feel like from an aunt or something, where they're like, the whole thing about, like, if you shouldn't go to bed angry.
Oh yeah, that was even in our advice on the RSVPs. That was said like multiple times.
I want to know these people that are giving this advice if they really like hold to that.
Honestly, I feel that's impossible.
Some things you just have to sleep off.
Because no, in reality, sometimes that happens for me. Is like we'll be pissy, we'll be arguing, whatever it is, but then like it won't be resolved, it won't be whatever, and I'll just go to bed. Sure, I'll be annoyed when I go to bed, but when I wake up, I'm just kind of like, meh, that was stupid kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, and so there's that, and also it's just logistics, like, because we've gone and we've argued into the middle of the night, and that's not good, because then if we gotta get up for the work the next day or whatever has to happen, it's not smart. And and like then when you introduce kids or whatever else into the mix, and it's like it just may not work. You may just have to go to bed because you got to get some sleep or something. Like I never understood that one. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing it every night, but I mean, if once in a while there's something that you just can't resolve and you guys aren't meshing, or like something's not clicking and it happens to be bedtime, I mean, whatever, like, as long as you guys are good, then you'll talk about it the next day, or you'll figure something out. Like, I'm not saying to drop it or to pretend it never happened, but like, just go to bed. And it also doesn't mean that the person has to sleep on the couch, so we can go back to that. That's your own thing. People have personal things on that, whatever works for you guys. But I mean, and we've done it like a couple times where like we've been pissy, or like you didn't like because I snoring, or there's been different like aspects where then you end up coming out in the middle of the night and you're sleeping on the couch because you just don't feel like it. But overall,
it's different when someone's forcing you to do that. And like as I was looking for like topics to talk about for relationship advice, I saw one that I'm gonna just bring up real quick, and it's like where they've been married for 20 years, they've been together for 20 years and married for 10. And, like, this guy started to notice, like, hey, my wife is, like, yeah, like, bit by bit, like, slowly not letting me have my own things. Mm-hmm. And, like, he was saying how, I mentioned it, how, like, he likes collecting, like, CDs and records, I guess. Mm-hmm. And, like, he was, like, saying, like, oh, I was thinking about creating, like, a shelving system, of, like, putting this up there to display them. And, like, that's his hobby.
Right.
Like, just like...
We all got one.
If my hobby was collecting physical games or something like that, and I created like a shelving thing to like just have them there, and you're gonna tell me no, I can't have them. This guy had to put them in storage, and it's just like,
yeah,
it's kind of like, how did we get here, and why is this person that says they love me not accepting me for like one of my things that I love? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I don't know, like, it's interesting, and like I hope that doesn't happen to us, but it's just like when I hear everyone's story, and like when I hear like my friend's uncle having to like pretty much not have a life past a certain time, or up until a certain time he's able to be able to like run free and do stuff. It's like, what type of life is that?
That's more of a parenting structure than a marriage.
It's like,
and I've seen it too, and it's not healthy at all. You can't strip the person of all that they are. That's not what love is, and that's not what a marriage is. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to bring who you guys are individually and bring it together. Yep. And yeah, that means like your house or whatever, vacations, like that's your life together. Now you're going to do stuff together, but as yourselves. Like, no.
Yeah, and like as we're looking at houses, just brainstorming like what our future house idea is, because we like similar ideas. Yeah. So it's easy to find the right house that we're both gonna like, and it's like, I already thought of it. Like, I keep saying like a lot. Where
like.
If we find the right house, I'm looking for like me to have like a nice space, whether that be like a basement, whether I have to like create a little section for me to like finish my own stuff, or there's like an additional room to like make happen or whatever. Man cave. But like, and like that would be my space, and I'm not looking for you to be like coming and like saying like, oh, I can't have this there, or I can't do that. As long as I'm not like throwing clothes, which I would never do, throwing clothes in here, or like punching holes in walls, or just doing something wild. That's like
no, that wouldn't make sense.
That's my like issue with it. I gotta say, for those that do get married or in relationships, just make sure that you are fully ready to be in it. Because I really feel like guys are pushed into it more and more, and with women becoming the people,
More independent.
more dependent, sure. Just the person that's going to like pop the question to the guy. It's like, just be ready that you're like, if you see tendencies in someone, you're like, are you ready to deal with that? Like, for the guy that like saw his he's been with his wife for 20 years now, like, did he see something where she was like always a bit more controlling and like, it's gonna progress?
No, a lot of people do. A lot of people always see like little red flags and they just kind of like shrug it off until it is like in your face.
Because like, that's the thing.
A lot of people think like, oh no, this won't become a big thing, or that no, that's just a funny quirk, or
I do not play like that.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I see something off, I'm like, no, we're gonna talk about this before it gets anywhere. Like,
those are the only mess.
I do not play like that. Well, there was some in there I didn't really care about, so I would say screw it.
Well, I saw one that said how it was like a myth, and it was like you'll always feel in love with your partner, and I'm like, yeah, that is a myth, because it's the honeymoon phase doesn't last forever, and then things happen, you argue, or sickness happens, or whatever can happen, and it's like it's not la-di-da all the time. It's impossible.
Well, and
it's like, think about it. Do you love your mother all the time, 24/7 without issues? Your sister, your whoever, your friends. Like, no, everybody has issues. Like,
well, I separate the two, because I still love you, but when we have those problems, it's not that I don't love you.
Right. No, that's why I'm saying it's feel in love. Okay. Like when it reads like that, I feel like it's like when you're like, like, he's just so cute. Like, I love him so much. Like,
and it's like that sometimes kind of we get into like
when you're in your head and your heart, and you're like,
And it's like sometimes you get into a fight, and this person's like, come on, stop having an attitude, this and that, and stuff like that. But it's like, dog, if you're already like got on my bad side and I'm not feeling it, like, you gotta give me or give that person whatever, like, time to just be like, let me chill. Because, like, right now I'm not digging you right now. I don't want to hug. I don't want to kiss. I don't want to be friendly. Like, let's not make it happen.
The one thing I like, and that a lot of people say, like, even at the wedding, and that I think it was in, like, our ceremony and stuff like that, is, like, what is it? I feel like I'm getting this reversed. Is it loving each other when you don't even like each other?
Yep.
Yes. So, like, that I think is that's a good one. That pretty much, that summarizes it, because you still have love for this person. Love doesn't go away in 0.2 seconds. Even with someone that you end up hating now, like, you still, if you had something for years, or like a connection or something, like, there's still underlying love there for a while, like, so it doesn't go away. It's so you still love the person even when you don't like them. So, like, when you're having an argument with them, when they're saying something dumb, when they're not doing the chores, when they're not, picking up the slack with the kids, and you're exhausted, like, whatever it is.
And, like, one thing I look at this as is, like, I keep going back to this because I feel like marriage in a way kind of prepares you for kids. Yeah. It goes with the whole accepting of another person,
of someone for who they are.
And it's like, we're gonna raise, one kid, two, whatever, and they're going to always do something that we don't like them to do, but we're going to still love them for, who they are, who they're going to become to be.
Right, like when they draw on the walls.
You just got to get the paint ready.
Yeah. And it's I'm not liking you right now.
Dog, I was a horrible... No, was I bad? You'd have to ask my mom.
Was I bad?
Man, I remember just growing up and, like, there's like 5 of us, and, like, there was drawings on the walls at certain points of the house.
Yeah, I did that. I did one that was really bad. So I had bed frames, like the top and the bottom from I think it was from my great aunt and uncle, and they were like nice, like wood ones, and I didn't really understand how nice they were, I guess, like the wood or whatever, because I'm a child, And one day, I still remember it vividly because it was still there for years. I don't know what I took. I don't know if it was a knife or a quarter or something.
Oh,
I carved like a little boat into it, like with the little flag, and it was like a simple little like boat. Oh, my parents were so mad at me because, like, I kind of just ruined it. And, like, I had them for years and years after that. There was no, like, doing anything about it. But, like, and I didn't realize, okay? Like,
that day she realized that she got a butt whipping.
Yeah, probably. But like, I'm like, I'm a kid. How am I supposed to know what nice wood is? You know, like I didn't know how expensive they could be.
That's what I worry about. Yeah.
Like, and yeah, so it just, I thought it was cute, and I was all like proud of it, and like
mommy, look at that. And then she's like,
yeah, that was not a good idea. That's worse than drawing on the walls, because I feel like drawing on the walls, you could get a magic eraser, you could get paint, like you're fine, but like, oh, I like carved something, like that's a problem. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Note to self.
Right?
Put freaking mittens
They
on
say
kids'
they
hands.
say your kids, like, get ready for your kids because they'll do stuff you did and they'll be like you and whatever. And so I'm like, oh no.
I'll just do what we do in this day and age. Just throw them a tablet.
No.
Can't write on a tablet.
Well,
You can
what
rub it off.
if they're like, oh, I didn't have your Apple Pencil, so I thought a permanent marker would work.
You could probably rub it off. If it's on the glass, you can rub it off.
A permanent marker?
Yeah.
Permanent.
It's just glass.
Yeah, but it's permanent marker.
I'm pretty sure you can get it off.
All right. Anyways,
We could try it.
You get where I'm going with
Go get
this.
your iPad. We could try this.
no thanks.
But I don't know. That's all I got for this. I'm not sure if you have any other things, but I'm gonna hop into relationship advice if you're cool.
Hip hop, a hippity hop.
All right, my guys. This is a topic that's near and dear to my heart because I've been feeling it ever since I was a young little whippersnapper.
You were a young lad.
Young boy. This isn't really necessarily
Just a tiny tot.
relationship advice, but I'm sure there's my introvert people out there that go through this, so you're gonna understand where I'm coming from.
Not me.
This person goes on to say,
I'm
why don't
mixed.
some people like people who are quiet?
So you can't read them.
Exactly, and I love it.
Okay, that's creepy. Okay, Will or Joe or
I love love. I will always protect you, love. So this person goes on to say, often people will assume that I am either sad or depressed simply because I don't talk much. Most of the time, I don't really have anything to say, but that's just who I am. I can't even count on how many times I've said that the people have said I'm boring just because I don't open up to them straight away. People make these identities about me, then they are surprised or shocked when they find out that they are completely wrong. Making friends or relationships is especially hard when there is false identities that surround you. Some people just need to understand that not everybody is the same. Just because someone doesn't talk much doesn't mean that they are boring, unhappy, or uninterested. I'm sorry that you tried talking to someone who is quiet. They'd become. I'm sure if you tried talking to someone who is quiet, they'd be more happy to elaborate. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this. Just remember, even though we don't talk much, we do hear what you say about us.
Oh, got him.
I rock with this a lot because this is like me. That's my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, like there's so many situations I go into, and I'm like, I'm just chill, and it like. I feel like that's another reason why people get say those comments of like, oh, you should smile more, this and that, because it's like they don't know. I'm just chilling in the back, and like I remember going to like some event that you had like a year ago, or maybe it was beginning of this year, something like that, and like I was just chilling on my phone because I'm like, I don't do well with small talk. I've said this before on the podcast, I'm sure. Like I don't really care about the whole like highs and goodbyes and all that, and just like, hey, how's work going, how's it? I don't really care for the small talk. That doesn't really do much for me, and I kind of find it to be kind of a bit fake. Yeah, that and fake and not real, because at the end of the day, no offense to whoever I'm talking to, you probably don't care about it, and if you do, you're trying looking for the juicy stuff so you can tell someone else what I'm saying. That's how I feel. I don't know. That's just me. So I like having like the real like long conversations where you could just have like a real thought with someone, and I push this a lot more.
Yeah, and I see you differently in different situations. Like how like there's people that come to mind for me, which is not so much of a fun time for us, for you and I.
Yeah.
And how it's a lot of the stupid talk and just the same stuff, repeating stuff, or just yeah, it's kind of surface level because that's what they are. And how, yeah, you're kind of just quiet and reserved and you don't really know what to say next, or you don't have any, like, they're the kind of people you can't bring up real stuff with because that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And so there's that kind of environment. And then there's the environment like when we're with our friends and stuff and you kind of get looser and again, like what we were saying earlier, being yourself and like laughing and joking around, that kind of stuff, which is cool. And then there's like the you that is kind of in the middle where like you're with your family and it's like they know you and you're just like you're chill, but you're outward enough because obviously you're talking more with them, like they're your family, but like you're also like you're allowed to be chill and they know you.
When we went to Thanksgiving, I love that because like I could be whatever I want because these are the people that have seen you since you were a baby, since you were a kid,
right?
And like they, in a sense, they get you, right, but at the same time they don't. It's kind of like that weird in between because they know enough about you to like understand you, but not enough about you to like totally understand you. Mm-hmm. But they're never gonna be like, oh, you should smile more,
right?
Or why you look so mean,
right?
And it's just like I love that where I can just be chill, and it's like whenever you see them, it's all love. It's like, hey, how you doing? This and that. And it's just like I love those environments.
And this is the interesting thing too, is because like it even the article even says how it's like, it doesn't mean we're not happy or uninterested or whatever. Like you should, like with introverts, it's really just about getting to know them. Like, because like I said, like, okay, in that instance, I've seen like you kind of have 3 different kind of yous depending on the crowd you're in. And then there's the you with me. Mm-hmm. So like there's, but it's difficult because like when I talk to people, I'll say that you're introverted because if it's a stranger, you're gonna be like you're more reserved.
And I feel like people assume that it means shy. Like
right. I feel like it just means more reserved. Like you're not scared to talk to people. You're just unsure of this environment and unsure of like how to go about this conversation because you don't know this person.
Yeah.
So it's more so that. So like I'll say that, but then it's one of those, and I've had this conversation with people and they say, oh, my so and so is the same way. How it's like, but once you kind of crack the shell, then like this person, like and that's
Yeah, that's pretty much how
that's all it is.
Like, yeah, like if I could just if I could find someone that like we meet someone, whether it's at some event I have to go to with you or whatever, and like we could find like some common thing to talk about. Cool. I'm like, okay, if we relate on this topic, I may make a line in my head to be like, okay, we may relate on this and talk about this topic and kind of branch out from there. It's kind of like filling a puzzle, and it's like once you like get a few pieces here, it's like, okay, these few pieces go here.
It's kind of funny because like even like the professionals we worked with, so like our financial wellness coach, like I'm the one who does all the talking because like that's how it works for us, like, and you're just very reserved, and he's always like, so like you got anything to say, or like you gonna speak over there, like things like that. And it's just, but like no, like that's kind of just, we're good if you don't really have like extra fluff to say if I've already gone over it or if it's already been said or like that kind of thing.
My questions are more so like just ones that you wouldn't necessarily have because that's not your part of it.
And then like our videographer, so for example, when we had pre-meetings like before the wedding, you guys related on like Tesla and video games and different stuff, so you guys were like going back and forth, and it was like this great thing. But then on the wedding day, when we were pulled aside at the end to do like our last thoughts on like video and stuff, I was the one talking more because it was just kind of like, I guess I was summarizing for both of us. And so he's like, oh, like, do you have anything to add? He's like, no, like that's basically it. Like, and that, but that's just how it is. It's not, and it's funny because being in a relationship with someone like that, sometimes I worry that people can perceive that as me kind of taking over and like being, I guess, the loud one and being like in charge and stuff. Yeah. And I don't want like that to be the image, but for me, I've accepted it just because that's how you are. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to be over here and push you and be like, no, like you have to say something even if it doesn't make sense. Like, again, it's just accepting, for who you are.
It's just, it kind of goes back to that team aspect where it's like, dog, if you cover everything, I have nothing to add. I don't really, I don't do the whole fluffing thing. I just, I'm very tasked. I just say things, here's what I'm looking for. just give me that answer. That's what it is. That's kind of just how I rock.
Yeah.
And like our system like works, flows. I got no issues.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And honestly, a lot of times that's how it goes anyway in relationships, is that there's usually like one person that's more talkative and there's one person that's less, or like things like that. So that's pretty average.
Yeah.
Because you kind of naturally, I think, try to do the balancing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Just like in the Chris Rock special that came out like beginning of this year, 2019, for those listening. Where he was like, I think it's called the Tambourine, I believe it's called, and like he made he painted a picture saying like, you know, you can always be like the front like trombone player, someone has to be like the tambourine guy in the back or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just playing your part with whatever your instrument is at the time.
That's true.
But yeah, I just had to throw that in there because I'm like, my introvert people, I understand you. And like whenever I feel like I know another, I won't say the couple's name, of course, but I know another guy that's in a relationship, and like he's a bit like similar where he's introverted. I'll tell you this off air if you care. I feel like whenever we get together, like we could have like these little like small conversations and stuff like that, and it's like it's cool because like we kind of, and it's at least I feel like in a sense we like get each other. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's kind of just a chill vibe. Like there's no expectations. I don't feel judged. It's just chill. Like we just get it.
What I love with you is that, and I feel like maybe this is generally introverts, you guys absorb so much and you're very like observant, I feel like, so that when we get into very interesting conversations, they're like awesome. Like I feel like it's cool to have a deep conversation with you because of the perspective you have. And I think that partly that's because of being an introvert. Because again, I feel like I consider myself like kind of both. I'm not like the craziest extrovert, but I'm not the craziest introvert. And it really depends on the situation and who I'm with and stuff. But I feel like if you're super, super extroverted, that sometimes it's a matter of always being heard.
Yeah.
And just always having to say something, even if it doesn't have substance. Versus I feel like with introverts, sometimes it's like they can surprise you because they're like, whoa, I didn't know that even like was in your brain. Like, so I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Because no one would like, it's interesting when I have like these work parties. So like we go out to eat or somewhere and it's just like, like I said this before, like way back a few months ago when I went out with some coworkers, and like we started talking about like China and like how they do like some type of like Black Mirror, like the social crediting system in a sense, and like no one else knew about this, and then like I'm the only one that's able to like talk about this a bit more because like I just like learning about different things to be able to like have like these interesting conversations with people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just always ready to have those long, interesting, thoughtful conversations with someone that is of like minds. That's all I got. I had to throw that in there because I like that topic.
Cool.
On that note, guys, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. Man, I just want to say we're gonna do probably an episode within the next week or two about like 2020 goals. But I hope everyone that has 2020 goals, either planned or you know that you're planning to have, whether it be like losing weight, being a better person, whatever the case is, I hope you ace them.
Let's just all be better people in 2020. How about that?
I hope you have a great year.
Let's just do that, please.
I wish everyone the success. All that stuff. We all are trying to get somewhere. With that being said, if you made it this far, I appreciate you 100%. Hope you have a great New Year's Day, New Year's week, New Year.
Oh my gosh, you're so extra.
Oh man. Once again, I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Peace out.